Bit of the Hammonds. I also thought we could see a Muma Orisa here, and maybe even a Roadhog. Rock is a very good Roadhog. Orisa here, and maybe even a Roadhog. Rock is a very good Roadhog. Jay can play it as well, so just on the flank, he's got Zen.
He'll get there eventually, guys. Not the smoothest roll through, but, you know, survives. I guess that's the important bit.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for a grapple to displace them on the bridge. I mean, that's why you're running this Wrecking Ball, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It does a lot of the same things as a Winston will with Primal Rage, and that's where the battle is going to take place on the bridge here. This team's doing a little disjointed, though.
Seems like it's a bit more difficult for Linkster to get the energy rolling, though, with the bubbles. Can he get that damage cranked? And there it is, up to 100 now. Did somebody just, Boink just knocked Blase off the side. Perfect start here for the Houston Outlaws. RCK gets DMAC'd as well. That's exactly what they were hoping for.
Boink with the boop. Wins the fight right away. Very good play there. Now let's check out the ultimates here as Muma's going to get the cleanup there. Very nice to be able to do that. And if this fight continues to take place on the bridge, I'd imagine a minefield is going to look really good on that bridge.
It's going to be so tough to make your way through there. Boston, they shouldn't be getting too frustrated yet. Only 20% on the board for Houston Outlaws as first control. But Boston, they've got their ults coming online as well. They're playing standard as could be 3-3, so they know what they're capable of. No reason to get flummoxed just yet. Fusion's on the Winston, but still, this is more of an offensive Winston, and now they're going to go ahead and take the fight to him. Houston Outlaws straight into the mix. Jake giving them the rally, but then that forces the trance out of Persia. It's going to be a big opening here for Linkster to ruin Boston's day.
Rally the Transforms out, and now you'd have to imagine the Graviton is the next thing to throw in.
Bubble is going to get melted immediately. Not as fast as it could be, though, because Houston Outlaws now are going to be the ones going tit for tat. Self-destruct thrown in by Dante, but it is going to be the sound barrier used by Boink, and they are going back and forth now. Houston Outlaws look like they could be on the losing side of things. Oh no, Fusions!
More of an art than a science. You kind of have to know that timing by heart. He wanted to get the second jump in, didn't come off a cooldown. And meanwhile, while this was all occurring, Houston has been in control of the point. A lot of ultimates used on both sides. A rally will be the next thing up for nearly both teams, but Muma's going to try to look to lock them out with a minefield.
Oh, that's a toughie. That's a real tough pill to swallow. Muma's got to be careful. Does get stunned, but will survive, and now he's got the minefield, can drop that wherever he wants. Right through the back, and on top of him, there you go. Rain and mines. Persia going to go down immediately, and now this is going to be so difficult for Boston Uprising to make their way through. It is not going to happen. Persia sent back to spawn, Blase as well. And Houston Outlaws, they should be picking up the first. You've only got the tanks left to contest.
Seems like it's all over just about now. RCK can't even get back there. And Houston continued to impress.
Very clean, Hex. Looking very clean indeed. 11 kills for Houston, 1 for Boston. If Houston maintains this level, it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Jake, get it together. You're not supposed to die in Brick.
Seriously, you got personal shield. You can't even blame it on your Rhyme.
The only death. But I do like that they just ran Wrecking Ball there. You know, just throw a curveball at him. Quite literally.
Hey. Yeah, I mean, he figured it out after a while. It looked a little shaky first.
You're right.
But it's true, you know, you mentioned the Orisa. I was kind of hoping to see that because Muma is so dangerous at the halt since Oblivion. But let's see, this is going to second point now. Moving into it, Boston Uprising.
All right.
Okay, then. We get a little bit of a change on their side.
Boston going to run a DPS composition here. Blaze's Doomfist is the thing of legend.
We get some Pharah, that can be fun. Barrage combos, because Persia's running the Ana. So we
right.
boost, and yep, now we're going to have wholesale changes coming through here on the side of the Houston Outlaws as well.
Pharah, Tracer.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get the dogfight in the sky. That is a great opening kill.
How does that happen? Kellick's out of it. No longer having the Mercy, you're lacking the healing throughput. Color Hex is going to have to play careful now, and Muma gets overwhelmed by Color Hex, but this is opening the door here for Linkster to just start doing some serious damage. Rockets are in. There's one. Blaze sure to follow. Yep, there's the follow. Klinkster is just going to be going right through him now. First control for Houston Outlaws, and everything looking dandy.
Doomfist, when his abilities are on cooldown. Not a great hero. Just got the knuckle guns out there. So Lynx are able to exploit that small window. Right now, Houston looking pretty good. They're going to have EMP up momentarily. And now Blase is going to get off of the Doomfist, which I think is the right call here. He's going to go onto a Tracer of his own. It's been a while since we've seen some good Tracer v Tracer.
Seriously, right? Tracer v Tracer. Loving it. Lynx are already just being a thorn. Boink eats a rocket. No fun there. We'll get topped right back up again, though. No worries. And Dante's now got the EMP online. So, point blank. Oh, back to back. Not going to be getting the res either. That's going to shut him down.
Oh, feels good. You got to hit those two back-to-back when they have a Mercy in the pocket. Otherwise, the healing is just too strong. Jake takes the aggressive stance in the sky. Knocks him down. And now Boston has to play into an EMP. 60% and charging on the point as well for the Houston Outlaws.
Color Hex just got the barrage online, though, so let's see. That's scary.
Raucus got hacked.
Jake is going to survive. Raucus is out of it. A follow-up. Could he get a third? That would have been stepping it up. He said it's going to be the rest of his team dying here for Jake. Jake going to follow suit. The Houston Outlaws going to get sent back to spawn, so it will not be a perfect control run here for the Houston Outlaws. Boston Uprising are going to get their say.
Let's see what Boink does. Let's see if they stay this, because that was an interesting bulk towards the end. It's not the highest impact of ultimates, but it did happen after the fight appeared to be already lost. Well, Boink is going to stay on it. Jake takes a long-range rocket. Now we got a nano on the field. It's perfect.
Oh, perfect stick from Blase. That's clean. Kelix and Persia down, though, for the Boston Uprising. That's their backline dead. It looks like this is going to be a full-on slugfest here on the point. Dante going toe-to-toe with RCK. Going to get some help from Linkser as well.
It's just ball, though. It's just ball on the point. They can fight this.
Oh, totally. Linkser, right now, he's just wrecking. Going to get the flip right here. Houston Outlaws looking solid. And this is going to be the flip. Now it's on Boston Uprising with just a couple of ults to play with.
These spars are hitting some sick directs right now. Still, though, one fight away for Houston at 95 and counting up.
Oh. Does sleep, but now it's on cooldown. Jake will get brought back up again. Still hold on to the barrage, but Color Hex connects with the direct. 40% and counting for Boston Uprising. Color Hex going to throw the barrage in there for good measure. That's Raucus going down. Boink follows, and this is the Houston Outlaws now battling back from behind.
Nice barrage kill there, because you know you're going to die anyway. Might as well take out a valuable target with you. Well played. And now, counting up is Boston. Again, Houston is one fight away, but they're also kind of far away from EMP, which is usually your win button. RCK, meanwhile, has been somewhat quiet, but he's getting up to EMP himself.
Oh, there's the hack. Did they get it? Color Hex, man, he's hanging on by a thread. Purrs are going to go down. Color Hex as well. Jake having a field day right now. 2 big kills for him. Fusion's trying to turn it around on his side of things. Muma going to go ahead and stop someone as well. Dante could go down. Muma looking for the body block. 98%. It's all on RCK now. He's got to make the magic happen. EMP is in, but Muma's going to club him. And this is going to be the Houston Outlaws picking up the win 2-0 on Nepal to kick off the series.
In a meta reminiscent of Overwatch League 2018, these teams slug it out on DPS. And we are in for a good one, but Houston continue their momentum. After beating the San Francisco Shock, we have map 2 right after the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Огонь по готовности! Nicht.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Guangzhou Charge were coming up against the Chengdu Hunters in Game 1 of their set when Rio hit around the corner waiting for the right opportunity to ult. As soon as Hotba threw in D.Va's mech, Rio charged in and set up the triple kill.
Back into it with the Houston Outlaws, who are carrying on from their performance yesterday when they took down the Shock, the top team in the league. Houston Outlaws, well, they've hit the ground running, Hex. They're up in the lead 1-0.
Yeah, we looked at their schedule earlier for the rest of this stage, and it's the easiest strength of schedule mathematically for the Overwatch League. And they're at 4-12. And with as bad as Houston has been,
Yes.
they're still only like 4 games behind getting into the play-in for the season. I mean, there's teams that are sitting at 12 and 13 or 7-win teams. You run this gambit, you go through stage 3 pretty well. And, yeah, you might see a whole different talk about the Houston Outlaws. So much turmoil around this team for the last couple of stages.
Yeah, you're in the running. That's what counts. That's what matters. But Flame won't shut up about weight getting lifted off of his shoulders. So, you know, maybe that's having an impact as well. Congrats to them. Now we're thinking things here on Volskaya. Assault map, second map of this series, and Boston Uprising looking to try and change up the game. Or will they stick to it once they see what they're up against?
I mean, you never really know early on for scouting, but how deep this far is, it does seem like Boston wants to run a damage composition here.
All right, now it's time to tango. Because this is going to get fun.
Oh!
Turns out, no, you're not allowed to have fun when Raucus is on point. The headshots on Blase to kick things off. Volley in as well. Nearly clips Color Hacks. Buddy.
Raucus has been playing some of his better Overwatch over the last several matches for this team. Got his confidence back. Seems like a much happier person right now.
He's clearly starting to figure it out.
I think he hasn't figured out for Sombra. That Sombra match we watched him play in where he transcended post every EMP was insanity. Now if he can start adding in the damage here, also be really helpful.
Color Hacks right now having trouble. Oh, looking for it. Not quite. And this is going to be still the fight continuing, building up ultimates on both sides. Dante still a ways off of his EMP, kind of neck and neck right now with RCK. There's the hack on Color Hex, though, going to drop him low, but he's got some terrain to hide behind. He may be able to survive this, and it looks like he will. Fusion's there to watch as far as back as well. Good communication here on the side of Boston, making sure that they're staying on top of things.
Muma got so low, you can only hold up that shield for so long.
We've lost Linkser as well.
Wow,
so.
The tank line is completely down now. Houston's best hope is a stall here to get out on the point maybe. Muma's going to go to Wrecking Ball to try to accomplish it.
Oh, you're actually going to have the wings coming out. Boink eventually has to go down there. Single kill for the Barrage, but still, that's fine. That's value as far as Color Hex is concerned. Muma, squeaking in dismay, has to roll away.
Is that a dismayed squeak?
It sounded like a dismayed squeak, like, oh crap, rockets!
Well, they made some switches late to the Houston Outlaws. Linkser went on to Tracer. This might have just been an attempt to try to get the stall back on, but it's not going to be the case. And the reason you use Valkyrie, you end up using a lot of alternates in non-ideal situations if you're Boston, is because you know you're going to switch first point captured off of DPS onto a more standard 3-3. And this one, again, it's going to come down to which Sombra gets the hack better off this time. EMP ready for Dante, RCK at 80. You just call that already EMP ready. Oh yeah, that's right. A switch it by the heroes. Blase.
See what Blase is capable of. I mean, should have the tracking, should be able to play on Zarya, give him those damage rolls. This is still just trying to whittle things down here. The defense is looking pretty solid on the side of Houston. RCK's finally got that EMP online now, so we'll see what he's capable of. Gonna be setting it up, but they are so divided. Look at how spread out Houston Outlaws are right now. It's gonna make it very difficult to hit multi-hacks. And yep, sure enough, Raucus with the trance. Johnny on the spot, gonna be there to keep his team up, and Blase's gonna get pounded into the ground immediately.
That's really rough too, because RCK ended up using his ultimate, and they get nothing out of it. A better EMP from Houston, better follow-up there. Now it's just time to heal everybody up, go back in, and we go again.
Again.
Fusions is outpacing Muma on the Shatter, though. That could be a big deal, but without the setup, it's very difficult to get a very good Shatter here.
Dante, I'm just going to go ahead and let him know. He happens to be around.
You got to step into that Fire Strike when you're bubbled. Maybe you didn't get bubbled.
It's like old habits die hard, you know, Hex.
Yeah. You're not used to trying to step in front of fire strikes.
No, that's like a real Neo feeling when you're dodging fire strikes. You know, you see it coming. Oh, it's so slow. Move out of the way. Can't touch this. Just whittling them down right now. Boston, we've got just under 4 minutes in the bank for him here on the offense.
It's been a stunningly uneventful map.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kills so far.
Oh, they're pretty much neck and neck on that. You're right. Fusion's going down. Oh my goodness, Persia. There's the shatter, but Persia used the trance, and that is not going to be good because the team is already lost. 3 down here for Boston Uprising. They're going to get sent packing. Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, the moment they're able to isolate Fusions and he goes down, then you're just looking for a moment to hit a free shatter, essentially. No shield up to block it. Unless they're god-tier bubbles from the opposing Zarya, you're going to get something. And you just chuck it in there. And now with Transcendence used, Linkster has to be licking his lips.
Oh, he's going to be feeling it right now, man. Because the graph is there. It is ready. Translocate. Take note, guys, when you play Sombra. That's where to put it. Everybody who's going to camp Sombra, that's probably where he's going to try to translocate to. So
I hate dying when my trans gets camped.
there it is.
All right, slow going, slow push here for Boston. And they're getting attacked from all angles. Persia's very low.
EMPs on both sides, but again, Raucus is there. Raucus on point, and that is what is so difficult about hitting the EMPs in this last point on the B point of Volskaya is everybody is split out, and Raucus has 30 places to hide. How are you going to get the EMP to hit that Zen?
2 for 2, and the Transcendence responds to the EMP, and that's what he was so good at against New York. Even though they ended up losing that series, that was where Houston finally showed signs of life and a revitalized Houston Outlaws team. So Boston with over 2 minutes now.
Boston
try
really
to put together a good fight.
Boston really seem to be going back to the basics. They're taking their time with the bank and just building ults until they get all the 6 online. We saw that already once. So, I mean, it seems like that's the game plan. Just take your time with it. And then Dante's going to kill Persia.
It's tough when you have to step in and you haven't gotten the scrim times with the team.
Yeah.
You definitely haven't really had the stage time with the team to be able to call out where you're going to be, that you need help, and also, yeah, Sombra's just really good against Zen.
Not a whole lot that you can hope to do.
Low health hero, but that fight buys them enough time that Dante is probably going to have another EMP.
Oh, gets picked by RCK. A little bit of vengeance there for the Boston Sombra. Spawn is right there for Dante, so he shouldn't be too troubled by that. It'll just delay the EMP a little bit, but RCK, you can see, forced to translocate back, so even Steven, in the end, Fusion's trying to set up camp. On the point, there's the graph to bring it in. Now let's see, how is this going to go down? Kellex with the sound barrier to kick things off. Persia will have the trance up this time to negate the EMP. RCK's got the EMP about to come online here. It's a matter of Fusion surviving, and Fusion's isn't going to do it. 2 kills, just like that for Houston.
Now, a minute. It's only EMP for them.
Yeah, at least RCK held on to it.
Yeah, I mean, Dante's charging it about 45 seconds faster than RCK, which is an enormous difference between the two Sombra players here. And Raucus, that play again on the razor's edge towards the end, was getting up to about 96%. Had to hit some shots to save his team. Everyone very low, but a clutch Transcendence late. This has to be a better EMP than we've seen thus far. He's looking for Raucus, but you don't have to be. You know he just used Transcendence.
Does he solo it on Raucus? Come on. Oh my goodness, he does. 2 hacked. Muma and Raucus. Sound barriers there, though, and that is going to be keeping him up. A follow-up hack on Dante. We'll see. Kellex is going to find the kill on Jake. That could be what gets the job done here, but you lose Blase. That's certainly not going to help things if you're Boston Uprising. That's a big source of damage gone. And now Dante is going to roll in with the EMP, and this is a disastrous result here for Boston Uprising. The offense completely crumbling. Houston Outlaws
are making really good use of having new players play support line for Boston.
Full-on abuse right now. Wheel him and deal him. That's right. 1 point picked up for Boston Uprising on the offense. We'll see how Houston Outlaws fare after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
There you have it. Houston Outlaws with the solid defense in the first half of this map. Volskaya is where the battle's going down, Hex. And, well, Boston Uprising right now struggling to find a solution.
It's been a story of Zens and Sombras, as this meta very likely will shake out to be. Dante is just going after Persia, and he eliminated him first. I think the last 2 fights in a row, he's just in the back line, all over him, getting a faster charge, better EMPs. And on the flip side of things, Raucus is playing really well against Sombra. And that's no surprise. He just seems to have the positioning really figured out.
He's just like Tracer. Like, I'm good versus Tracer. Sombra's going to be a cakewalk. Houston Outlaws now on the offense. Let's see. What do we got going for us here? Boston Uprising on the defense. They've gone for some colorful play here, Hex.
Yeah, they're going defensive DPS. It can work. I mean, I think Boston, you know, I always respect teams for trying new stuff. They're trying new lineups. They're trying new compositions. Because what they were playing was not netting them map wins. Like for Widow, Jake Tracer. But the question is, how many D-Max will Jake get on a Diva? Oh, there is no Diva. 0.
That's the answer. And you still got Dante on the Sombra, still a threat. And right now, Linkster is just, he is loving life right now. This is exactly what he wants to be doing. Give me a Widow v Widow duel any day of the week. Now, he's under pressure right now, though. They know what they need to do here, Boston. They need to not let Linkster get comfortable. But Jake in the back line, wreaking havoc. Color Hex finds a kill on Dante. Follow. Boom, there it is. Looking for it. Back to back to back. Linkster hitting all of the shots.
That's somehow more impressive than a headshot. To get the double click there, to have the follow through, the wherewithal to follow it up. Oh my goodness, I have missed this hero.
Yes, I have. I have as well.
He's going to go for another big grapple shot. They might switch off of this momentarily, but might as well take a peek. And that's it. Houston just needs 33% to go 2-0 into halftime.
They've got the boost on the line as well. Muma could be getting some fun there. Dante working on that EMP. That could be the game ender right here with so much time. 6 minutes 20 on the clock.
It's got to be up to RCK.
Needs to get the money EMP here to save his team. He's looking for it. Could very well find it right here. Massive targets, 5 of them packed, and that's going to be a brutal send-off here for the Houston Outlaws. And unfortunately for Raucus, he actually used the nano.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh, I thought he had.
I thought I heard it, but
I thought I saw the symbol there. But he still got a check mark. Hex, how does this work?
I don't know. Games are complicated. This is actually fine for Houston because you know you're going to get EMP'd sometime in the fight, and it's fine to just not use anything. Now you can nano Muma, and you can EMP yourself. So they're in a great position right now. Persia's gonna, I don't know, maybe nano fusion so you live through it, but they're just gonna wait. They're just gonna wait for Dante to get this. That's a great opening kill on RCK.
Yep, get the sleep and get the follow-up. And now you're going to be pressing on. Calyx getting silence isn't going to help things here. Good support there, however, from Persia. And there's the EMP. Going to catch a whole bunch of people. Color Hex right now getting melted with Blase. Another hack onto Calyx. Calyx, go take a nap. Get back to spawn. RCK's out of it. And this is going to be it for Houston Outlaws. The last second contest, but it will not be enough. And the Houston Outlaws go up 2-0 versus Boston Uprising.
Looking like 2018 Houston Outlaws. They were once a good team. I swear to God they were at one point in time. They seem to have captured the magic. Let's see what our halftime crew has to say.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile, and by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right. Houston, they go hard. The Outlaws looking to stay hot after a huge upset over the Shock last night. They're only one map away from taking a back-to-back series now against Boston. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena, everybody. It's Puckett. I've got Brent. I've got Sideshow. And as you can see on our scoreboard, it is all Outlaws so far in this series. Woo! They didn't win a match in Stage 2. Now they're looking at pulling off back-to-back victories here in a fantastic Week 2 of Stage 3. Let's talk about this first map, though, because all kinds of DPS came out once again. I'm starting to love watching this Houston team.
Yeah, it's coming down to them playing to their strengths once again. We're seeing the Dante Summer. We're seeing Jake playing the fire, which he's been known for in the past. He's got a pretty good fire at that. But again, Boston Uprising, I got some question marks with them because
that's a pocket play right there.
They cut that off to save him embarrassment. I can respect the EVS team. I can really expect it. But again, the question is, why are Boston Uprising experimenting so much with their support line? This time we're seeing Persia and Kelix in. Previously it was Aimgod and Alamau. They just can't really seem to solidify what they want to run for this backline.
Well, it's not even just their backline. Both Blase and Colorhex have swapped roles as well.
Right.
And that's creating a bit of chaos within Boston, which is previously a very structured team. And Houston thrives in that kind of chaos.
Oh, yeah.
You're allowing them opportunity for Dante to be playing at his best on the Sombra, for other people to come out and be able to play those DPS heroes. Houston are loving this right now. It's just going to keep their momentum going.
Well, up to this point in the season, we've always given great credit to the Boston coaching staff. Do you think this is just a plan that has gone awry after that 3-week break? They put in a lot of time. They tried out these things. The scrims are working, and now all of a sudden they aren't? Or what do you think's going on with this team?
I think it's very difficult to speculate actually what the reasoning is. I mean, it's possible that that's the case, that they tried stuff and it was working. It's also possible that they want to mix around and maybe find a better roster and just assume they'll sneak into the 12th position anyway. Or, I mean, it's so hard to tell.
I ain't gonna lie.
It's been so different. I mean, it's been so different for Houston as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Patriots special, mate. They're just putting these players out, advertising them, trying to sell them. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, well, we'll see what Boston has in store for us in the second half. For now, though, we got to keep our eyes on Dante throughout this series. We hyped up the Sombra for what he did against the San Francisco Shock in their past matchup. And today, Josh, I know you've been following him very closely. What did you see?
Yeah, I've been on Sombra watch, and both of these two teams on Volskaya are playing Sombra against each other. So that creates a bit of a different situation. So I've got insights powered by Intel. I'm going to run you through just a little bit of the thought processes that were going through Dante's mind in this play in particular. So he doesn't have a diva to worry about on the other side. So instead, when he comes around, he spots Persia, and like a predator, he just approaches his prey, stalks him, and as soon as Persia takes a bit of damage, a right click comes in from Raucus, he finishes off the kill. Now, RCK is playing Sombra on the other side, and Dante actually gets hacked here as well. And this, I think, is going to be kind of, as the metagame develops, the hacks on enemy Sombras are going to become more and more important. Now, he doesn't actually get punished in this situation, ends up being able to get off a really sick EMP. But when teams start to get this a little more in their heads and both Sombras are on the field, I think hacks like that are going to be really important, because those are the times where you can punish Dante, other real key Sombra players. If you just have kind of a man-to-man marking system of your Sombra with the other Sombra, you can really take a star player like Dante out of the fight. So I like the idea. The execution wasn't quite there.
We got to see if RCK can shut him down in the second half. You saw Sabiolbe doing similar work for the NYXL earlier today. But let's focus here on Houston, because they are the story of Stage 3 for me now, at least this week with their run. Let's take a look forward. What are their chances? Is this a playoff contending team potentially?
I think they are now. I requested this because I want to take a look at their upcoming matches. Houston Outlaws right now, they're on fire. They're playing stuff that they're comfortable on. They're winning against the mid-table teams a lot of the time. Powers Eternal, very winnable game. Mayhem and Justice, they should be winning these games. Defiant as well. Have we been too impressed with them? They seem to be struggling with this mixed roster. Again, another winnable game. We're looking at a scenario here right now where the Outlaws, I would be shocked if they don't make playoffs at the end of Stage 3 here.
But it all comes down to consistency. So far, the Outlaws have been very impressive, but Outlaws have been up and down throughout, honestly, the 2 years that they've been part of the league.
Sure, yeah.
So they have to keep it going.
Well, we mentioned it in the pre-show. Boston currently came into the day in that 12th position overall. You need to be in the top 12 if you want to play in the season-long playoffs. And Houston, they got a long way to go. Do they need a 4-0 today?
I think they need not just 4-0s today, but they need all the wins they can get moving forwards forever. Because even if Houston make the Stage 3 playoffs, there's still a chance that they wouldn't even make the 12th spot, because their first half of the season was so tragically awful. So they need every single win.
Houston on the up and up right now, and they're one map away from locking up this series. We'll find out. Can they do it? Numbani is coming up next.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Heroes sterben nicht.
Business. Welcome back from the break, everybody, and the halftime show where Josh was enlightening us, dropping the knowledge on how to handle the Sombra v Sombra matchup.
Yeah, getting hacked as Sombra feels really bad because you can't translocate, and that's kind of really important as Sombra. I actually really like the bit on the schedule, too, because if you want to get into that 12th spot, there are teams ahead of you that are now beatable now. Boston being one of them, Paris being one of them. Those feel like they count as 2 wins because you gave them an L while you took the W.
Well, you took the W, and they are definitely shaping up beautifully here. Houston Outlaws, they're carrying on from what they were capable of doing yesterday versus the Shock, taking down the best team in the league. No small task. But Houston, they could have sat on their laurels. They could have figured it out. No. They're continuing to pummel the opposition. 2-0 so far for Houston, and we're going into Numbani next.
And these are definitely 2 maps upcoming that you don't have to run a traditional 3-3 on, especially Numbani. Numbani I used to refer to as the lab. It was where teams ran a bunch of weird stuff constantly, and it was a joy to watch. But I think you can definitely run DPS offense and DPS defense on Numbani, should you so choose. And then really no one has Havana figured out completely.
Yeah.
But we know it's still a good Sombra map. You could run a bunker comp there as well.
You can do some really funky stuff on Havana for sure, but we definitely need more playtime there. Kind of curious here. Houston Outlaws on the defense. They're not going to be changing things up, so it looks like we will get some of that Link's Fist. We get the Jake on the Pharah.
This is still not going to be a Muma Symmetra. Sorry to hurt your feelings. I imagine it's going to be Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball. Yep, there it is. Just going to roll his way into the fight.
All right. Well, Doomfist boxing match here. Appropriate map for it.
I like it. Nope, never mind. Link's just going to change it up. No more Fist on the side of the Outlaws. Plenty on the side of the Uprising, though.
All right, we'll see where the initiation comes from here. Very similar compositions.
Point blank rockets, so much damage. Blase down, but we lose Boink and rockets in the meantime, and that's going to snuff it.
Yeah, that's the fight. You lose both supports right there. That one is over in the blink of an eye. Just an incredible amount of damage coming up. I mean, maybe they can stall this.
Taking down Color Hex. Can Dante get topped up again? No, they're not going to make it. Oh, yes, they will. Linkster Muma, everybody's onto the point now. Boink and Muma here trying to hold. You got Jake even switching to the soldier just to be able to sprint back in faster. They cannot leave the point though for an instant. RCK goes down. That's Linkser doing work. Now we've got 4 Houston bodies on the point, soon to be 6. They're into it, Hex. They are actually going to hold this.
Respawn advantage. It's a long time for the offense to walk up. And, you know, this Tracer play's been pretty good from Linkser. He clutched that out with some enormous kills there. Finishes out with style.
99.8%.
Call me when it's 99.9. Unimpressed.
That's nuts.
I can't believe they get back into it. Is Jake staying on this now? Because they have made, like, legitimate changes. Yeah, we're getting the 76 Numbani defense.
Just go full. Yeah, we nearly had the full throwback earlier. Now we're going to get it. Jake on the soldier. Boink's got to be careful. Looks like he ate a direct rocket there. That's not pleasant. Hack on a Kelix. Not quite. Just barely dodging it. Dante doing a good job of drawing attention to himself, though, and that is going to slow things down with the push.
Well, they've nanoed the hamster. He got purpled there for a second, but now he's going to be able to chase it down. Nice trades, though.
Yeah. Oh, this is a big deal. Yeah, Colorhex gets rezzed, but the rest of his team is dead. Kelix gave his life for that as well. We're down to 1 minute, 50 seconds on the clock here for Boston, and they should definitely be resetting and taking their time with this. They've got RCK with the EMP next.
Well, Dante's got an EMP of his own as well. Remember, they did get a lot of progress on their very first push, so they're at 66% here. Only need 33 more on that board to lock up first point. But now only 90 seconds remain on Numbani. It's probably one good fight. He's been going very quickly, though, so they might get 2.
They might, yeah, exactly.
Tactical Visor is going to be the great counter to the Mercy Far in the sky.
You get the boost visor as well. I mean, there's all sorts of fun here for the Houston Outlaws. There's the EMP out in the open. Everybody getting a piece. Dante just barely surviving, but that's 2 quick kills and a third as well.
Yeah.
Jake even went for the visor in that, and Ruckus used the boost. That's a lot put into this fight here on the side of the Houston Outlaws.
It really is. Kind of overlapping ultimates there. 60 seconds remain, and that fight went so quickly that Boston deleted from the map. They're going to have EMP. Not much to combo it. The difference between their Sombra play feels like Dante stays in fights once he EMPs.
Yeah.
Whereas RCK is usually out of there. So Dante's getting that extra charge because he's still in the fray.
Well, there, Jake just having a rough time of it, but you've lost RCK again, down to 30 seconds on the clock here for Boston. You just lost your key player. EMP out of the picture, has to run his way back in here, and if anybody else dies now on the side of Boston, it's going to throw a real wrench in things. Losing Ruckus is going to help, though. That's big. A lot of heals gone now for the Houston Outlaws. You're going to lose Dante off the back of that. Surely now, Hex, they're going to get the job done.
They will get the job done, and don't call me Shirley.
Hey.
It was just too much overwhelming pressure there, and eventually they were able to pick off the support plays early on. So let's wonder what they're going to play now on defense as the second point opens. A lot of first points will play the ultimates game, the poke game with the DPS, but second point is usually a different story. Not if you're Houston. I love it.
Going over the top. Persia having a bit of a sad time of things. Insta pick, insta give, and you're gone. Linkser. Where do you find a follow-up? It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. There's a sleep. Perfect on a fusions. Linkser, come on. Linkser, this isn't matchmaking. Just instantly wakes him up.
That was a little uncharacteristic there. Boston getting the kills they need to be able to push this point, though. There's really not any sustain on, well, either side right now. It's hopes that Jake is on the Soldier 76, of course, your own healing station. Let's see where Dante wants to come in with this. EMP into minefield here?
Oh, nearly finds it. We lose Jake. Jake is just having a real rough time.
RCK gets 2 in the EMP. He got Boink and Ruckus, but he's out of there. There's no possible follow-up. His team's not following up either. Color Hex. Fire should not be dying to minefield.
No, that's a questionable play there. We're going to have Linkser going for the bomb as well on diffusions. And they are holding so far, Houston Outlaws. We're down to a minute on the clock once again here, Hex, and it's looking a little tight. Color Hex even going so far as to change it up to the Widow now.
The Widow can be good here because it's a really long sight line, and I imagine that Jake has been giving them trouble on the very distant high ground here. So that's to pressure Jake out, hopefully Dante.
That's
what
scary.
Sorcery is this? Lives with 0 HP.
Oh, buddy, that is as good as it gets. Blase sent back to spawn, point blank. Jake hanging around. Jake's got the visor now, though. Raucus is still away off of the boost, so looking for a combo potential.
Linkster's a spawn, I think.
Is he really that far?
It's like at the enemy spawn. Muma went to join him, gives his life for it.
That's weird. He goes down, gets hacked immediately. That's not going to help things now because Muma being gone, he's going to roll his way back, but now Jake's on a mission. He's got the visor, making the noise. Yeah, exactly. Color Hex hears him coming. Ready for it, but he's drawing attention to himself. Minefield on the payload now. Not the most effective visor, but you're going to take down Fusions, you're going to take down RCK, and that's certainly going to help. Thanks, Point Blank Helix onto Blase with the help of Boink. Beautiful play coming in here for Houston, and they are going to hold. Just a matter of time now as Kelix taps the point, just barely keeping it alive for his team.
Ooh, Linkster with a double bomb off screen will just about seal that deal, and if it had not, the EMP would have right there. That is where the payload will stop for the Boston Uprising.
Super solid work here from the Houston Outlaws. They're looking so good right now. Actual smiles as well from the players, which feels like we haven't seen that in ages. We're taking a quick break, and we'll see how they fare on the offense right after this.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Houston Outlaws getting the job done. They shut down the Boston Uprising on the defense. Only a single point picked up for Boston, and they barely got that. And now we're going to go into the offense and see what they're capable of there.
The hardest thing to do as Tracer in the Overwatch League is not die. Linkster did not die on that Tracer that entire match. Played Tracer the whole time, too. Really feels like he's... I think Tracer's one of those heroes who are just in the zone, and that's when these just are all hitting perfectly. They're going back in there. That's a bad closet to be in.
Man.
Almost gets 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's Kelix just like, whoa, I'm out of here, boys. Oh, at the wings.
But, I mean, it's really interesting that Houston has really embraced this. These are their strengths. These are their best players. Let's see what happens. And you can't say it's not good enough to beat good teams. They're beating good teams as well. I think there is a question, though, of when teams start adapting to this, because they've been playing 3-3 for so long.
Yeah.
3-3, you don't even have to turn around. You're just looking at the other team constantly. You don't have you have to do a 180 and find a Tracer behind you. So maybe a little bit of rust for some of these teams facing the DPS, but Boston just continues to try to DPS, and Linkster's unkilled streak goes down at the Fist of Blase.
Oh, so close. We lose Color Hex. Are they going to be able to get the res off? It looks like the punish is being attempted. Doesn't quite find it there, Jake. Too many, like a wealth of targets there. Just
really nice hack onto Dante, too. That's why RCK gets him. They're going to back out a little bit, just play some poke, try to build some ults.
3 minutes on the clock here for Houston. Still a good bit of room to work with. There it is. There's a juicy target. Gonna go ahead and say hi. Yep, Raucus is there. RCK working together. I like this from Boston Uprising when you can get them to work together on the flanks. Raucus had nowhere to go.
Dante's nearing EMP, but it's not ideal versus these compositions. You have to settle for which target you want. You're not going to get giant 6-man EMPs against this kind of comp, so you have to pick your supports or just pick a target that goes a little too far out.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. Blinkster's out of it. Dante gonna be waiting, playing patiently again, I do believe.
They're playing kind of a squad style here, where it's Linkser and Muma going in on a dive. Obviously, Farrah and Mercy. Big EMP.
Gets 3 minimum, and that's gonna be a big opening. Now Blase out of the fight. Nano onto RCK though, so that's gonna make him a bit more tough to deal with. We'll see if it pays off though. Jake, you gotta get in disguise, mate. You gotta get in disguise. This is not happening. You get silenced.
Got grounded.
Oh, this is getting messy. Muma, unreal. He is eventually going to go down. Body block. No, he manages to roll his way out.
Shields are pretty good.
He's looking for the Fusion's body block there.
Yeah, the EMP just didn't find the correct targets there. It's gonna be difficult. Like I said, everybody is everywhere at once in these compositions. So you're not gonna get giant ones. Triple blink pulse bomb style points.
Go, go, go. Do it. Nice rocket there. Jake, it's like your Pharah has to touch the point. This is getting silly. Kellex goes down. There's the barrage. Ah, this is the opening that we're looking for Houston. 3 quick kills. Kellex goes down. Perfect. All works out in the end for Houston.
Blase went aggressive and got punished for it. And now they're gonna try to come back in. I feel like they're just feeding meter at this point.
Yes, Fusions, that was unfortunate, but he's going to get sent back to spawn. And there it is. So, what is the play now for Houston? Because they don't have that far to go, just around the bend.
I mean, the play for Boston should be to fight as close as they can to spawn and make them fight more than once. But they got to get in position to do so first. I'm waiting for you.
Perfect. Oh, he gets the... No, he got robbed! Dante, you got to get out of dodge, buddy.
Lands on the hack pack. Feels tough, man. EMP ready. They've completely reset their ults here, though.
Yeah, EMP is there. Counter comes through. That's a hack at least. RCK still working his way up to it, but they are going to find success on one fight here for Houston Outlaws and more progress made for the payload.
When you reset your composition to go back to 3-3, you need that enormous EMP and a big team fight win to start pulling even on these ultimates. They do just that. Nice play there from Dante. See if the swing back comes from Boston. They've got an EMP of their own ready right now. They have to use it. Green box of victory right there.
Yeah, right in front of their faces.
Oh, he gets caught.
Oh, out of the stealth. He's now going to be vulnerable, and he's out in the open. Let's see, can they capitalize on this? 3 hacked on the side of Houston. Dropping low, Boink doing the best he can to keep them topped up, and somehow Houston Outlaws, they survive. Spoke too soon, though. We lose Dante in the back line. They're trying to trade it. RCK on the edge. Somehow survives. And it's 1:50 on the clock, and Houston decide to back off and play it safe.
Nanobrig does buy them the time. Another Nano is going to be up for Houston, though. They're going to have definitely the better ultimate economy right now. Get another fight in there, and EMP will be up before this match ends at 90 seconds remaining.
Well, let's see. There it is. Big boost onto Muma, looking to go ahead and start swinging. Does get knocked back. Good play there by Color Hex, but Fusions, boom, goes down, and there's the shatter. Nothing to stop him. He's going to find another kill. Yep, Color Hex gets smushed. And Houston Outlaws Hex will get the job done versus Boston Uprising 3-0. Clean.
Look like an entirely different team when they just play DPS. And I gotta say it to Flame, just play DPS, Forehead. Seems to be working, hard to argue with. We've got map 4 coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
music. When we use the weapon. Oh, there's no problem. Gunpla music. I'm moving the baby. You're powered up. Get in there. Fire at will.
Hex, they did it! Houston Outlaws 3-0 over the Boston Uprising. They continue to find success.
The neon green just looks a shade brighter today, as, you know, there was still some questions as, is this a fluke? I didn't think it was a fluke because of how well they played against New York, right? So that look, no one had them beating San Francisco. I actually called they would win the first map, but I didn't think they were going to win the whole set. And now they're beating teams that, do we dare start saying that they should be beating?
Exactly right. Map set, last one, Havana. It's a lot of green right now. That's fitting though, it's the green wall. Everybody over at Green Wall is doing well today. I think over at Call World League, they're just crushing. So, you know, congratulations. Green Wall is big today. But, you know, Houston Outlaws, let's see, do they keep it together and lock it down 4-0 for that map differential, or do they let Boston Uprising breathe?
Yeah. And Houston is really far behind in maps, so you really actually do need a map 4-3 here. I actually think they're so far behind in maps it might not really matter, but you still want to win. What better place to check out a new map than Havana? Looks like we are going to get a mirror match, and Jake gets mirror matched in the face.
I like that. Dante's just looking to hack anything at that point. Persia goes down. Now you're going to have Dante in the back line. Blase gets sniped by Raucus. But this isn't going to help Houston. They've got a longer way to run back into the fight, so this is going to be some free payload progress for Boston.
Well, Blase, I think he turned to try to help deal with Dante in the back line. Get him turned, opens up a shot. For Raucus did that volley. Corner control here. Most maps where you're running a Reinhardt 3-3 variation, although this is Sombra variation of it. You do want to play these corners.
Just a lot of Sombra. Muma
Really trying to get this hack.
so close each time as well. Scary times for Muma. That's not comfortable.
Now let's see what happens when RZK EMPs next. Does he stay in and fight? We'll see in a little bit.
Yeah.
He just goes down right there. But that has been the big difference in just this brief sample size. Is every time we see RCK EMP, he's gone. He's out of there. He's not contributing to follow-up hacks once this EMP dissipates. Look, the gun can do a lot of damage. You can track these heads. That's why Tracer players have been so good at transitioning to Sombra as well. But Dante is in, you know? He EMPs, and he's like, well, you guys can't do anything now, so how about I shoot you in the face?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dante, he's a DPS player, man. He is a damage dealer. A damage dealer out for damage dealers' hearts. Likes to get in there and rip them out. Good man. I approve. Now we got the EMP attempts here from RCK. Gonna go ahead and come on through. Just, yep. TP's out of there.
Got 6, though. That was an enormous EMP. I'll forgive that one if you get everybody on the team.
Oh, Houston Outlaws, though, they've still got time to reach challenge. We cutting it pretty close, but the payload right there, that's the first point that Boston Uprising are hoping to push.
Payloads are notoriously slow in Overwatch, so they will be able to get back out here. Both teams EMP-less, but Houston with every other single ultimate. This one's all about execution.
Yeah, rallies. Jake just doesn't even care about giving armor to his team. Goes straight in for his counterpart. There's the grab right on through. Raucus is there. Solo shatter on a color hex, but again, just so much healing. Doesn't matter for Boston, though. They're getting overwhelmed in the end.
A nice shatter there by Muma, isolating a target, getting the charge kill on him too, and then a nice bash into fusions to clean him up. So, at the end of the day, when the dust clears, everything used for Boston, most everything used for Houston, but hey, they won the fight, so you'll take it.
They got the job done.
1 minute left. Dante could probably get there. Both of these Sombras, if they're aggressive, should be able to get an EMP in a minute.
I mean, this guy, he just keeps getting hacks. Muma has to back off, but Persia, again, this time gets sniped by Linkser. We're losing these Zens.
Yeah, it's not just been losing Zens, it's just been straight up losing Persia. He's died first in a lot of fights, regardless of what hero he is on. And that's just, it's kind of par for the course. When you put in new players like this, they're likely going to have a couple of mistakes positionally or just get caught out from the rest of their team. I don't want to put the blame simply on Persia. This is just kind of an amalgamation of Boston mixing things up maybe too much.
Yeah, not finding the right solution. The teams aren't working well together. Or at least that's leading to this result now. It could also be the Houstoners playing exceptionally well. There's the EMP. Double onto Jake and Muma, but the sound barrier is there from Boink. And now you're going to get the counter. Full-on EMP from the side of Dante, and this is going to be a hold. 6 seconds left on the clock. Cue the dramatic music as the Houston Outlaws shut down the offense. Boston Uprising, that's as far as you go.
Very good defensive hold from the Houston Outlaws. Smiles come out on stage. You can play a little looser now because we've already won the series. Need to start getting these 4-0s though for map differential. Boston look out of sorts.
Boston definitely looked like it's a full-on struggle. Fusions. Not quite the full face palm, but definitely not looking too jazzed.
Yeah, it's getting kind of quiet over there, and that's usually a bad sign for the Boston Uprising.
Yeah. Oh, we're not going to be... Yeah, exactly. Tough situation here for Fusions trying to figure it out. I mean, what do you do if you're... Because with him showing up on the team is when you started to see that upswing. RCK as well seemed to fit the system well.
Yeah.
Right now, it really feels like, at least in the tank and the damage line, things are looking good.
Yeah, it's just this very strange mix-up of moving Color Hex and Blase around to new heroes and then bringing in support line changes. It just looks like, well, I mean, it really is a very different Boston team than it was at the beginning of the year. It's literally different players. Waits for the Shatter to come back. I still don't think you should get Shattered on your card.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I dislike it. It happens to me way too often.
Oh, buddy. Going for the hot beverage as well.
Hey, air rats.
They just carry disease.
I'm sure there's some pigeon fan out there.
No, pigeons, they're vermin. They are actual flying vermin. They're everywhere. Screw them. All right, let's go.
Defensively, no changes here for the Boston Uprising. They're going to hold front door with the somber variation of the 3-3 composition. Offensively, hey, why not? This is a good way to crack big shields right in front of your door.
Oh, there's the MP. Got to back off, though. And then he's
Persia.
Oh, man, Persia's died first every time so far, I'm pretty sure. That is brutal. Kelix goes down as well, not going to help things. And now the pirate ship is going to set sail. Just go ahead, right over the top.
Well, links or dies just to make it appear more even. Not going to be the case, though. This is kind of the strategy they used to run on Junkertown. Although Raucus would be playing the Hog.
Oh, this is so hard. Oh, how do you deal with this? This is disgusting. The high ground setup behind an Orisa shield into the halt. Hey, there you go. There's one.
I'm just going to walk away. He could heal himself if he wants. Trying to give that charge to healers, though.
Oh, no way.
They just moved him. They just moved him.
Change places.
There was a change to the Bastion several patches ago where the damage fall off isn't as bad, so he's just this giant Gatling gun sniper.
And they can just keep doing this over and over again. Back and forth, using the Sim Teleporter. This is disgusting. There's the EMP. Hey, you guys want a challenge? I don't think you get to do anything at all.
It's demoralizing.
And now you're going to get the full-on tank mode straight into the fray. Jake doing damage. Kelix goes down. Jake just having a ball right now. And this is going to be the Houston Outlaws obliterating the defense and collecting a 4-0 win over the Boston Uprising.
The first sweep for the Houston Outlaws since 2018, stage 4, week 1. It's been a while since they put a 4-0 on that board. And Boston, it is back to the drawing board. Fusions is not happy, and why would you be?
He just slammed the desk. I haven't seen that in a while from a player.
I like passion. I don't care what form it takes.
Absolutely.
You should hate losing. I hate losing more than I like winning, and there is a difference.
Exactly, that's what makes the difference. In the end, let's say Houston Outlaws making their way back. They find the success that they were looking for. 4-0 to their names. Fusion's not pleased, but that is going to serve as fuel to motivate.
They're only 2 matches behind the Boston Uprising in the standings. They've got Paris coming up soon. Does the Houston Outlaws. They could definitely make a climb here. And it's a very confident team right now. Speaking of confidence on the floor, we've got Mika with Raucus.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Raucus. Give it up for Raucus and the Houston Outlaws, everybody.
Oh, I love hearing them cheer for you. It's so nice.
So it can be said that your hardest matches are behind you. This is an amazing stage for the Houston Outlaws so far, and it looks like it's pretty likely you'll be seeing your first stage playoffs all season. So what do you do to make sure they don't put the cart before the horse and get too excited and kind of slip backwards?
To be honest, I don't think we're thinking about stage playoffs right now. We're just focusing on one match at a time because, we have a long way to go if we actually want to make it after struggling last stage. And I think this stage is going to be really good for us because we're focusing on our strengths and we're finding all these new strats and counter strats, and so far we have the momentum to go forward.
Absolutely, you do. And we noticed backstage that you on Zen and on Ana have been really avoiding the Sombra EMP. So do you have any tips out there to rising support players who want to play support as well as you do?
I think, honestly, just have a team as good as mine. My team is actually helping me much when it comes to dodging like Sombras and stuff. We're spy checking really well, and they're making me look really good out there. So
that was really pure, and now I'm emotional. Well, thank you, Raucus, and thank you, Houston Outlaws. You put on an amazing show today. That's all we have down here. Back to you guys.
Yes, thank you, Raucus. Not only for the hair, but for the performance. But I mean, this is what happens when you get blasted that way. You can have reactions like this one. And Fusions, man, it's been a while since I've seen that. Just full-on rage.
I did that. That's rough. I mean, they played so well when he got brought into the lineup, and in many ways became the star of this rebuilt Boston Uprising team. And his team just got rocked. They just got rocked by a Houston team who had done almost nothing all year. New Houston's pretty good, though. The Houston we've seen in Stage 3. Let's take a look at our Omen by HP player of the match. It's the Linkser, Finland's gift to esports.
Yeah, we got to see the Tracer. We got to see some Widow. It's good. It's so good, Hex. And we're starting to see some damage dealers again. This is where a player like Linkser gets the shine. He's a specialist.
Yeah, he's great when he doesn't have to play both the Tracer and the Widow. They couldn't fill those roles last year. He picks one, he goes off on it. That double body shot on Volskaya, I found enormously impressive. And then he didn't die on Numbani's Tracer. Any Tracer who plays Overwatch League will tell you the hardest part about playing Tracer, just not dying. Just always be around, always be annoying. He was in the back line all day. That Boston back line is going to have nightmares of anyone wearing green.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Linkser, glad that he got his opportunity. But guys, just to remind you, there is the Watchpoint post-show, and Fusions will be on it.
Must see.
After our last match today, be sure to stay put because the desk will be going live, and we'll get to have Fusions there. Perhaps answer some questions, give some insight into what's going on in the team. But we're not done yet. There is one last match coming up, and that is going to be the Gladiators, the Los Angeles Gladiators versus the Philadelphia Fusion. That'll be happening in just a couple of minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
You're powered up. Get in there. Fire at will. Apagando las luces. Apagando las luces.
Into the iris.
Heroes never die. Team up for resistance.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more match here today. We're going to have the Philadelphia Fusion going up against the LA Gladiators and see who can come out on top of this one. Obviously, home crowd going to be backing the Gladiators. That crowd looking forward into the future, the grand final, hoping that Philly Fusion can make their way into the Wells Fargo Center for that grand final matchup.
Yeah, the Gladiators coming in as big favorites. They've had more consistent performances in this meta as of late. And if you take a look at the standings, it's reflected here as well. You can see the Gladiators sitting very comfortably in 5th, whereas the Fusion have dropped down to 10. And a loss here would put them at even 8-8. And this is not something you'd expect from defending finalist Philadelphia Fusion.
Yeah, certainly not. Gladiators, though, looking to maybe slingshot their way over top of the Spitfire, climb into that top 4 spot with a victory here today. So we'll see if they can attain that for themselves. But things have not been great for the Fusion, as you're kind of alluding to here, Wolf. With that victory, like you said, kind of breaking even with the 8-8. Things have really been rough for them, even here at the start of Stage 3, but throughout the entire 2019 season as well.
Yeah, you and I talked about it a lot when we commentated this match where they faced off against the Spark, but it didn't really feel like we saw a lot of improvement from the Fusion in terms of 3-3, and they're running a lot of Sato on the Winston in cases where you wouldn't normally see a lot of attack Winston from them, a lot more Winston on maps where you don't see the Winston. They tried to go back to comfort for Sato, and unfortunately, even though he's a very talented Winston player, he's phenomenal mechanically, there's just limits to what you could do in this meta. And if you take a look at Sato's rankings, across the board in terms of team fights this season, you can see he's still up in top 10, even top 4 in team fight win rate, hero damage per 10, 5th, but sometimes it doesn't convert well into long-term success. Ultimate's not as impactful as, for example, a Reinhardt Shatter. So, Sato, unfortunately, might have to play more Ryan.
Yeah. But taking a look here at the Gladiators schedule remainder, we're going to have Fusion here today, followed up by Justice, then the Dragons, the Defiant, and then the Titans. So a couple tough opponents in there, the Titans especially, having to face them twice in a single stage is a pretty arduous task to try to come up with a victory. They're able to get that 4-0 over the Fuel at the beginning, only picked up one map versus the Titans, but otherwise the Gladiators still looking pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and bring them out on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your home team, the LA Gladiators.
Gladiators on the up and up right now, and a lot of people thought they might be able to take out the Titans. They'll get their second chance at the end of this stage, but they come in again as favorites here against the Philadelphia Fusion. They have mastered this meta. It took a little bit of time. It took some time to get used to Decay on the roster. He wasn't here to start. Surefour slotted back in as a main player on this team, and this is the most comfortable the Gladiators have looked this year. Surefour will again be on the starting roster here with Void. And, I mean, this is terrifying for the Philadelphia Fusion. They are weak in 3-3, and the Gladiators have got it figured out.
Yeah, looking for Fusion to step up. Gladiators going to be looking for a very dominant victory, trying to break in to that top four. We can see if they do it by taking down their opponents. Let's go ahead and bring them out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Philadelphia Fusion.
For the Fusion, you know, they haven't lived up to 2018 glory, but they're still in the top half of this league. But how long can they hold on to that standing? How long can they hold on to that ranking when everyone else is leveling up in the 3-3? There's somber experimentation. Will the Fusion be left behind, or will they rise to the occasion? A win over the Gladiators tonight would be a massive upset, but it's exactly what the Philadelphia Fusion need right now more than anything.
Absolutely. Need to be climbing those standings. Need to, instill some faith in their fans. Because this is a team that hasn't been changing things up at all. Still running the 3-3, still running the same exact roster with middling success. They need to start climbing those standings. I mean, similar thing over from the Outlaws, now starting to climb up. If Fusion can't do it, what does that mean for these teams overall in Stage 3?
And talking about on the other side of things, we talked about Surefour being cemented back into the starting lineup. You know, oftentimes he was benched at the beginning of the season. We saw a lot more hydration.